Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, I have a juicy one for you today. There's an article that just came out that talks, I'm always curious about Harry and Meghan and how much they're spending on things and how I believe, in my opinion, it seems like they're hemorrhaging money. Well, this article kind of dives into that, and especially in regard to this Australia disaster trip. And when I say disaster, I mean disaster. I'm going to talk about the new stuff that's come out about this Australia disaster trip. It involves sewage. It's disgusting. Just wait till you hear it. A reminder, $3,000 for a weekend, a girls' weekend with Meghan, and it involves disgusting sewage. All right. If you're new here, I'm Jen. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, and leave me comments, as all of those helps YouTube to recommend my videos. Thank you so much for that. And thank you to everybody who hits the hype button. I'm going to dive in. It's disgusting. It's crazy. I can't even believe what we're about to talk about, but we're talking about it. Now, before I jump in, I do want to remind you, I'm posting like crazy. I'm posting off schedule. I'm posting lots of videos per day. So check back. Lots on the channel. I wanted to make sure you saw yesterday's video where Netflix unfollowed Meghan and, as ever, and Harry. Some of the key executives unfollowed them. So I think that's juicy, and you have to see about her new flower collaboration. Again, disaster. Okay, let's take a look at this Australia trip because it just keeps getting dumber. That's right. Just when you thought it couldn't, they're like, oh, it can. Watch this. All right, let's talk about it. This just came out at the time of this recording. I'm recording Thursday night. It'll probably go up Friday morning. It's out of news.com.au, and it says massive bill for Harry and Meghan's Australia trip. I was like, okay, let's see what they're talking about there. Woo! Is bad. Here we go. In 2010, the going rate for Sarah Ferguson, ex-Duchess of York, to, quote, open any door you want for a supposed chic or shake, depending on how you pronounce it, was nearly $1 million. The same amount she told an undercover reporter it would cost for Prince Andrew to, quote, look after you. Prince Harry and Meghan, those two, are absolute bargains by comparison. Oh, you know, they love being compared to those two. All right. Islands, Mariah Carey, big African cats. There are many unusual things deep pockets can allow you to rent. And the Sussexes, like plenty of other members of the royal family, are now on that list too. Next month, they will be in Australia for his and her paid events. A cool nearly $1 million might have gotten you Fergs, allegedly, leaning on Andrew on behalf of your, I don't know how to say that, Steelworks or Warsaw water processing deal, but getting the far more photogenic and less prone. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if they're less prone to chronic foot and mouth. Those two will cost you about the same as a 3-bedroom house. Those two are coming to Australia in April, and the bills for someone must be mounting up. Come April, for $3,199, you can buy a VIP ticket to an intimate luxury weekend in Sydney with just you and 299 other women with 4 figures to spare to share a twin room to come away with a group photo with Meghan. I am so stuck on how stupid this is. I'm going to keep going with this article, but I have to tell you the new news that has come out as well about this, just in case you didn't know. So yeah, it's we knew about the crazy cost of it, of course. I'm stuck on this Grift. It ends up being, I think it was about, so it's $31.99 Australian dollars. So that ends up being about 2,300 US dollars. It gets you a group photo with Meghan. You get front row for a gala dinner and an ocean view room. Okay. But again, they're single beds from the way I'm understanding it. And you're probably going to have to share. I think they were calling it a share. My goodness. Okay. They believe, according to my Googling, that Meghan is pocketing a pretty large fee But then there are reports that one of the hosts had said, no, Meghan's not making money on this. I'm calling BS. I definitely think she is somehow either getting directly paid or maybe there's this work. Again, these are just my opinions, but I believe that there is a worked out deal where maybe, I don't know, they supply a camera crew, because we just heard where allegedly they're bringing a camera crew with them. And so maybe they, I don't know, provide for the cost of that. Something is happening here because they're not just doing this out of the kindness of their heart, despite what that host wants us to think. Okay, let's talk about, though, the stinky elephant in the room. The hotel and beach are quite literally a sewage nightmare. So in case you didn't know, it's called, I believe it's called Coogee, Coogee. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, beach. Well, they're calling it Poogee Beach. I'm not making this up. Okay. This is where it gets absolutely disgusting. So the retreat promises relaxed time by a pool overlooking Poogee Beach. Now, it's being reported that the hotel's pool and spa are still under construction, not finished, not open. Maybe they'll swing something, I don't know. But again, at the time of this, when I'm Googling it, that's what it's listed as. The beach below, again, it's nicknamed Poogee by the locals because of chronic sewage problems. You can Google it and see this information. Raw sewage leaks have shut down the beach multiple times. This is gross and I apologize, but it's being reported that poo balls, you can't make that up, disgusting blobs of human excrement, fat, soap scum, cooking oil, and hair have been washing up on Poogee Beach and nearby beaches for over a year, thanks to giant, quote, fatberg in the sewer system. Scientists have confirmed it. Beaches have been closed. The smell is reported to be unbearable. That's so disgusting. So you're selling, if I understand this correctly, a $3,000 wellness retreat at a hotel where guests might be stepping over literal poop balls and breathing in sewage air. Is this what you would call your best life? Because that's what it's being sold as. Again, who in their right mind would go to this thing? And then also, in case you didn't know, before we get back in this article, Australia, love you, Australian geese, they don't want them. 7 years after their 2018 tour, there's no welcome mat. Australians have started a petition demanding zero taxpayer money and calling this a private celebrity cash grab. They're worried that taxpayer money will go towards security for the two of them. So there is a petition out there. I encourage you to take a look at it and see that, yeah, they're trying to stop this. The public backlash is pretty big on this. I don't know if the petition will do any good, but can't hurt, right? There was an email leak allegedly about Meghan's appearance, which has reportedly left her horrified and losing sleep. Okay. Social media and talk radio are roasting them as gold-digging grifters and Sarah Ferguson 2.0. Okay. So you can't make that stuff up. I'm so stuck on that poo beach. That's so disgusting. Let's keep going with the article. I just need you to know what you're getting or what's involved in this. My God, it just grosses me out so bad. Here we go. So come April, for $3,100, you can buy a VIP ticket to an intimate luxury weekend in Sydney with just you and 209. Okay, I read that. Okay, sorry, I already read that part. Let's keep going. Then for $2,378, you can hear Harry. This is one of my favorite lines of this article. Here we go. You can hear Harry give the keynote address at a Melbourne workplace mental health conference, which should be interesting from a man who knows about as much as being in the 9-to-5 workforce as Hannibal Lecter would know about vegetarian cookery. Well done, you, whoever wrote this. Well done. Okay. The Sydney and Melbourne outings are events that it would be impossible to imagine those two of 2020 and 2021 condescending to. Well, they condescend everything. Back when, let's see, streamers were throwing around, I don't know that they ever threw around that big, but we'll go with where you're going. Okay, throwing around big figures to secure the unspecified talents of the two. I think that I'm taking that with the sarcasm. Most famous people on the planet. However, 5 years on from Oprah, Harry and Meghan now find themselves in a situation best put by Destiny's Child's bills. Destiny's Child's bills. They have to earn a living, a source has told The Telegraph. They're private citizens and they have to pay bills like everyone else. My God. Okay. The last time they were in Australia, it was October 2018. I've been all over this trip. They were disasters in that trip. So many allegations of horrible behavior. They're talking about basking in the honeymoon phase, and I say absolutely disasters. They talk about it being outwardly peachy. Inside the Sussex camp, longtime Times royal correspondent Valentine Lowe alleged in his book Courteous, I've covered that as well. Definitely go back and watch that. That Meghan was wondering, Harry was wondering where the paycheck was. He wrote, according to several members of the staff, she was heard to say on at least one occasion, I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this. This time, they very much are. So what happens to be the going rate for those two? I hear you ask. Estimates put it at $70,000 to $500,000 each. At the lower end, we have News Nation's Paula Froelich, hopefully I'm saying that right, who said during an appearance on The Royalist that both the Sussex's going rate was about $70,000, which equals, that's Australia, and then US dollars is $50,000. Holy cow. So I'm thinking about, not long ago we saw them trying to auction themselves off for dinner for $100,000. Did they have any takers? We never heard any more about that. So I can't imagine that anybody would want to take them up on that, but people that could swing $100,000 for a dinner would want to meet with those two. What in the world do they have to offer? That is so crazy. Okay. Other clues suggest the price tag might be higher, more around the $500,000 mark. I doubt that. In Sydney, Meghan will be headlining her best life retreat in the beachside suburb of Poogee, the Chloe to Bondi's Kim, which grew out of Besties, the enterprise set up by former radio boss O'Neill and Jackie O. Henderson. In 2024, O'Neill and Henderson flew Gwyneth Paltrow to Sydney for the debut Besties event. The Oscar winner's fee pegged somewhere between $150,000 to $500,000 by the Daily Mail. So again, they're pointing out that it was in a much better location, it sounds like, and much higher fees. I do want to talk about, I'd pulled a little bit more about this. Okay, so I can't get over that sewage thing. So the hosting business is literally going under. Okay, so a huge red flag that's popping up is the woman organizing Meghan's her best life retreat. Her name is Gemmie O'Neill. Her PR/talent agent, Gemmie Agency, it's gone belly up. Okay, and they're estimating, according to my Googling, over 543,000 Australian dollars in debts, mostly owed to the Australian Tax Office. She told administrators she has no personal savings and can't pay a cent back. This is the same company tied to Bestie's event company putting on the whole weekend. So you're charging women thousands of dollars for a luxury retreat on living your best life. And again, it's surrounded by sewage. Ew. Potentially pool that's under construction. The business is in what, liquidation? That's not best life. That's bankruptcy. The event is allegedly still going ahead, but the organizer just announced she's broke right before the show. There's just so many crazy red flags with this and so many things going on. I'm just absolutely stuck on this. And who in their right mind would go to this? Even at double that amount, it's not as much as the 1.4 million that I believe I think it was closer to $1 million in US dollars, something like that Harry allegedly was paid to appear at a single JP Morgan night in February 2020. Adding to the overall Australian Sussex bill would be their far from inconsiderable travel expenses. That blows my mind how much they have to spend by the way that they travel. Those two often travel private jet while preaching eco awareness. Okay. The Uber poll of the 0.01%, a return trip from Los Angeles to Sydney would cost about $555,000, according to EvoJets. Even if they agreed to fly, quell horror, commercial, first class, the tickets for the couple and business class tickets for, say, 2 bodyguards, their longtime aide James Holt, an assistant, would cost more than $110,000. When Meghan flew to Paris last year to attend the Balenciaga show, she also took along her longtime makeup artist and friend Daniel, and so he could possibly be attending too. I'm sure she's bringing people. Unlike the last time they were in Australia, the Governor General's official Sydney residence, Admiralty House, won't be on offer, meaning Harry and Meghan might face the hardship of staying at, for example, celebrity favorite, the Park Hyatt. The hotel's Sydney suite is at least $21,000 a night. A lowly room with a view of the Opera House for those dates is about $3,100 a night. That is crazy. All right. Then there is their security. The Times has serialized Tom Bower's new book, Betrayal, Power Deceit, in the fight for the future of the royal family. And in it, he alleges that when they attended the 2025 Invictus Games in Vancouver, their exorbitant expenses included for security were footed by government and corporate sponsors. How much do bodyguards cost? I have no idea, but that sum could well be a line item in someone's Sussex budget right now. My goodness. If they're getting the full red carpet bells and whistles treatment, including a private jet and 2 massive paydays, then that figure is more like 1.6 million. Even at the lower end, the total still sits at a robust 6 figures. Is any of this particularly dignified? Is this the life Harry and Meghan might have imagined living when they chucked in the gray British towel to feel their feelings while living down the road from Oprah, a world away from the long arm of the Crown Incorporated, demanding they open biscuit factories in Huddersfield? One doubts, and one doubts hard. But they reportedly need a hell of a lot of money to keep the lights on. Bower has alleged that their living expenses after taxes are about $4.2 million a year. Oh my goodness. And they have few, if any, other options to pull in massive wads of cash. On Tuesday, Hollywood Trade Bible Variety published a lengthy report detailing the disintegration of the Sussex's deal with Netflix and just how disinclined Hollywood appears to be to have much to do with them. The company is sitting on a surplus as ever products. Okay, we went over that with the crazy amount of products sitting in the closet. Last week, Netflix parted ways with Meghan as ever lifestyle brand, with the Sussex machine telling The Sun that the streamer had been too cautious and the brand had been held back. Again, I point out in my last video, it's in my opinion, I wouldn't think it's a coincidence that they have not just cut ties, but it sounds silly to go after the unfollowed, but I'm telling you, that's a big deal. They unfollowed her. That's a big deal. That's showing how far they want to cut ties. And I have to wonder if it's because she put out such a horribly petty statement. She has now picked Australia for her first expansion of as ever into the international market, according to the Telegraph, and will use her time in Australia to hold a series of private meetings to potential partners, buyers, and marketing executives. Again, what in the world makes her think she'd be successful in Australia when all signs are, she can't even seem to swing it in America, and all signs are pointing to this being a disaster trip and people literally signing this petition to say, no, we don't want you here. That's wild. According to Betrayal, the couple have relied on dribble of money from Harry's occasional speeches and Meghan's endorsement of fashion brands. Has she endorsed fashion brands? And when it comes to, as ever, profits were assumed to be dire. Again, I'm not in their finances, but I'm telling you, my gut, my spidey senses says, what profits? Aren't they way in the hole? I can't imagine they're turning any profit. Spokesman for those two, of course, they condemn Power's book and they say, no, that's not true. Okay, of course. Who has more reason to lie? I would say Harry and Meghan. If the Sussex's Australia sortie fails to land and result in mass ticket sales, you have to wonder how they will pull in those millions every year going forward. In all of this, there's a certain nice symmetry. Their 2018 Australia trip represented the curtain rising on their brief royal run. Yeah, they want to spin it that way, that it was this, they called themselves, remember, according to Tom Bower's first book, I believe that's where they coined the term royal rock stars. Yes, it's that cringe, something along those lines. They thought they did a great job, but it sounds like everybody else felt differently. Let's see, their brief royal run, maybe their 2026 go will similarly be the beginning of the next professional chapter. I don't think so. And maybe one day soon, you and I will be able to spend $21 on a jar of Meghan's strawberry spread and keepsake packaging. Our toast will never be the same again. Isn't that an amazing article? I just felt like we needed to get our eyeballs on it and discuss. I'm so disgusted by all this. I really am. Like everything. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on the sewage. That's why I said disgusted, but it is disgusting. But this is just crazy. I keep saying I feel like we are witnessing the real-time downfall of these two. And it's wild to see all the craziness, especially it seems like around this Australia trip. And I feel like they, again, this is my opinion, I feel like they have to have it. They really need it to go well for so many reasons, potentially for money, if they're making money off of it, which I assume they are. I don't think they're doing it for free, despite what they want us to think. I feel like for future opportunities. And yeah, again, we know it's not going to go well. It never does. But like, what else do they have? Every trip vacation that they're doing, it's a disaster and they end up offending people, and none of the top of the government seem to want to meet with them. So what do they hope to accomplish by this? And Australia, obviously, hello, is part of the Commonwealth. So what is it that they're hoping to accomplish by this? I can't imagine. Anyway, obviously big fat paycheck, but I just don't see that for them. Let me know your thoughts on all this, because I am mesmerized. I really am. I'm stuck on this. If they continue to do more stuff, I'm going to talk about it. I'm completely fascinated by this. I can't wait to see what happens next. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. Let me know your thoughts. And I really, that sewage thing, that's so gross. Can you imagine? Meghan would call it, she'd call it a hate crime. If somebody said you have to spend $3,000 to hear somebody speak, and You have to potentially maybe share a room, and you have to have a sewage smell. And you can't even necessarily swim on the beach because of potential health hazards. I mean, she would throw around the ist words faster than, massage, race, all that stuff, than anybody. And yet this is what she is expecting of her guests. Oh my God. Not even guests, whatever. She doesn't care. But the people that are allegedly going to attend this event, I can't imagine who is this for? I mean, who is this for? What is this? Anyway, that's going to do it for me. I can't wait to read your comments on this one and everything. As they do more crazy things, I'm going to talk about it. Check back lots, as my posting schedule has been nuts, as just more information keeps coming out about these two. All right. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. And I will talk to you again. Stay healthy. Don't go near this beach. And I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Any any Australians? Well, yeah, any Australians. I know I have a lot of Australian geese here. If anybody is familiar with this beach, leave me comments. I want to know. Do you guys know about this? Is this, gross. Anyway. All right. Take care. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Hi. Oh my gosh. Sewage. Poo balls. I thought we just called Harry poo balls. I didn't know we were talking about beach poop. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Again, they got Gwyneth and what they say, Sydney, and they're getting Meghan. Again, I'm not trying to disparage the Aussie geese. If you live near here, it's not your fault that this place is having problems, obviously. But I'm saying, like, of all places to pick to host, is it a health retreat? I don't know. Whatever it is, a girls' weekend. This is okay. Yep, this is where you end up. So you have to let me know your thoughts on all this. Did you know about the Poogee Beach? I didn't. Did you know about the smell? I didn't. I just heard about the one of the organizers, what a company possibly going under or being in serious trouble, however you want to put that. There's just so much going on. It's so crazy, isn't it? Oh, crazy. Anyway, and this is all to deflect from the Tom Bauer book coming out as well. How's that going? Not well. All right. That's going to do it for me. If you stay tuned this long, I don't know. Let me know anything. Let me know who's going to attend this event. That's what I want to know. Who's going to attend this event? Are there like Sussex squad plants in place so they won't actually make any money? Like, are they acting like they're charging a fee, but they're not going to? I don't know. I'm totally speculating. Just to fill seats? What's going to happen here? How's that going to go? Let me know. Are they billing it as like private so that way, although they're going to release some pictures? I don't know. Who's going to be there? Is it going to be her weirdo friends? I mean, assuming she's still got any? I don't know. All right, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of all of this. Let me know what you think of the look. I worked out hard right before recording this. That's why my hair's in a braid and I'm in workout clothes. But all right, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for being here. I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. This is nuts, even for them. All right, take care. Bye-bye. My goodness. Poogee Beach. Ugh.